Hey guys, it's me, J-Turn, but you can call me Jake, everybody does. So, last week I did a little tier of who the sexiest Hearthstone heroes were, and I thought that that was a lot of fun. So I found another one to do, and what it is your favourite Pokemon of every type. So what we're going to do today is take a little look at that and decide what our favourite type of every Pokemon is. Here we go. Okay, so first up we have grass types. Now, I'm really kind of touch and go with grass types. Like when there's the grass type that you get in every generation, get it early in the game and it grows with you. Normally, I'm not about them. They don't do it for me. I avoid them if I can. I try and think about grass types I've had in the past couple of games. I think I haven't really had many of them. But let's take a look. I've got to say, I have always had a soft spot for the Bulbasaur line, always. So that might be a bit of... that might shorten this, considering that they're first. I'm a big Evolutions fan as well, but Leafeon doesn't super do it for me, I've got to say. I liked Serperior. I had a Serperior that had Contrary, and also like it had some attack that was supposed to lower its stats, but because it had Contrary, it didn't. That was good. Rowlet through to Decidueye, they were cool. They were cool. Rillaboom, I wasn't a fan of. Calyrex as well is just ugly. It's so ugly. Do you know what? I think that my favourite is actually Ivysaur. Venusaur starts to get a bit big and busy, right? Bulbasaur is super cute, but I think Ivysaur and how it can like sit on its hind legs and stuff. Okay, fire. I've always loved Charmeleon. I think Charmeleon's design is really cool. Cooler than Charizard, actually, I think. I really like the colour as well. I don't like how many different forms of Charizard there are, though. That is a shame. Oh, Arcanine, though. How can I pick anyone else? Arcanine is just so cool. And I know that that's like a really common opinion, but I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. Oh, I was also always a fan of Quilava, though. It frustrated me in the anime, though, when like Cyndaquil couldn't get its fire lit or something like that. I was like, get it together, Cyndaquil. I do love Camerupt, but I feel like its Mega is rubbish. I feel like its Mega is really rubbish. Let's go for... You know what, though? Incineroar is a very cool Pokemon. I don't know what it is about me in the second stage first gens, but I just think they're all really cool. Like, I really like Wartortle as well. Blaziken's cool. Man, they're all cool. They're all good fire. I'm going to have to go with Arcanine, though. I feel like that's the classic. It was either going to be Arcanine or it was going to be Charmeleon. I feel like it's got to be Arcanine. So next up is Water type. Toilet? Toilet? That says toilet. Why is it toilet? Wait, I need to check the others. Are any of them... No, all the others say the right... Is that like a translation error? Toilet type. My favourite toilet type. God. See, I actually really love Blastoise. I think that's really... I've always loved all the artwork of Blastoise, but I think Wartortle is just really cool as well. I don't think... in terms of the second stage evolutions, there definitely isn't another generation that holds a torch to like Ivysaur and Wartortle and Charmeleon. They're the coolest. Oh, is there a soft spot for Golduck? I've got to say. Gyarados I really think of as more as a dragon, and I know it's not. Oh, Vaporeon is high. Vaporeon is high. Looking through. Oh, Suicune I do really like. Suicune. I thought Swampert was good. Oh, I love Ludicolo. I've just never had a really good one because I feel like it's just not very useful. Or maybe it is for weather teams, actually, isn't it? But I've never really played a weather team. Empoleon, I know, has a lot of love, but I don't like him. I'm not a fan. Keep the hate in the comments. Ash Greninja, oh, get away from me. I was not a fan of that stage. Of that idea of Pokemon evolving with their partners. Keep that in Digimon. Oh, I'm a big fan of Feraligatr. Oh, this is really tough, the water types. And Kingler. I love Kingler. And Cloyster. Water types are actually really good. There's a lot of good water types. But then my mind keeps going back to Wartortle. No, do you know what? I think it has to be, if I was going to pick one more... Oh, the Starmie and Staryu, they're both really cool. I love their design. I always used to when they were in the games as well. Later on, they made them floppier, didn't they? They made them floppier. I used to like the anime idea of the fact that they were, like, rigid. Do you know what I mean? I thought that was cool. Gotta be Vaporeon, innit? I think it's gotta be Vaporeon. It's just the classic. Ludicolo? No, Vaporeon. We'll stick with Vaporeon. because otherwise I'm going to be splitting hairs over all of this. Oh, normal type. The temptation would be to make this one of the birds, right? Because there's birds in every gen. It's probably going to be Eevee. Oh, I've always been a huge Eevee fan. I used to have a little toy Eevee back in first generation. Oh no, actually, you know who it is easily. Ursaring. It's Ursaring. I've shown you guys the artwork I have of me and Ben commissioned as Pokemon trainers from Deke, haven't I? And my Pokemon in that is an Ursaring. It's one of my favourites. Electric. Let's take a look. I've always been a big fan of Raichu's design. Like, I think that the colour scheme and the bigger tail and stuff, like, I just think all of that's really cool. Much cooler than Pikachu. I was disappointed that it never evolved. And then there was, like, some PR teasing, wasn't there, recently, of like, oh, is the most recent series the one where Pikachu's going to evolve? No, of course it's not. Shame, though. Shame, though. Oh, actually, I loved Luxray. Luxray. Oh, it would be between Raichu and Luxray, I think, but there can only be one. Okay, it's Luxray then, I think. I'm a huge fan of Luxray. And I can't keep going for so many early gens. I know that, like, I'm more nostalgic about those ones, but I am a huge fan of Luxray. Oh, but Ampharos. Oh, I was a big fan of Ampharos. And Lantern. There's a lot of cool electric types. I could be an electric type trainer. I have to stick with Luxray, though, I think. I personally think that's the best one. Psychic. Ooh, open. Is this translated from Spanish, right? Because I feel like Abra, maybe that's not Spanish, but maybe this has been translated, put through a translator, and that's why water is toilet, right? At some point, who knows, who knows. Anyway, I was a big fan of the Ponyta and Rapidash of Galar, even though I think they should have been fairy types. Like, look at that. Look at that. The gorgeosity. The beauteousness. Incredible. Hypno, no, ugly. Executor, no, ugly. Starmie, maybe, not ugly. Mewtwo is always cool. Espeon, big fan. Oh, you know what? It might have to be Metagross, you know? I'm a big fan of Metagross, like always. Especially since, you know, I learned that it can like tuck its legs in and fly around. Like, that's cool. I've always thought that was a very cool design, very cool Pokemon. I spent a lot of time training one when I was a little teenager, early teens, playing Pokemon Ruby. Did I tell you guys that story? I had a Pokemon Ruby that I'd put like over 200 hours into, and then on the DS I used to play games on like a little M3 Simply flash cart, and with ROMs on it. Transferred all of my Pokemon from my 200 hours on Ruby over to that game, and then the save corrupted. Lost it all. Such a shame. So now when people tell me that they have Pokemon that they've had with them since Ruby, I'm like, fuck off. We're not going there today. Alright, so it's going to be Metagross with a honourable mention to Galarian Rapidash. Let's go fighting. Okay, so Machamp I've always thought was cool, but I think I've never really had on my team in a major capacity a pure, like a pure fighting type, right? Wait, Mewtwo Mega X it's got fighting type. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Blaziken is good. Feels like it's firier though. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that would be a cheat pick. I think Urshifu. That's cool. I'm a big fan. Akamo O. Oh, I actually really did like those. I thought that was a very, very cool design. I didn't even know they were fighting type. I'm a big fan of those Pokemon. Beware. I normally like the bears, but I thought I actually really hated the design of Beware. Really hated it. But looking through it now, I just think there's actually not a lot of fighting type Pokemon, is there? Maybe it's because the fighting moves are so common. Who knows? Oh, Pangoro. How could I forget? It's going to be Pangoro. There he is. That's the one. It's him. It's him. He's there. Pangoro. Big fan. I think of him as more of a dark type, but I also feel like I'm going to have a lot of competition for my favourite dark type, so I'm going to get him out of the way now. Is that cheating? That's not cheating, is it? Rock. Oh, you know what? I already know my favourite rock off the top of my head. It's Aerodactyl. I should probably take a look through just in case as well. They're just more memorable to me, the earlier ones, aren't they? I just really like Aerodactyl. I have a good memories attached. Oh, Lycanroc is really good. Lycanroc, honourable mention. But also, I think he's quite skinny. Like I'm a bit cuddlier. Nihilate is that rock. That's the one that attaches to her head in Sun and Moon, right? Actually, I really like Tyrantrum. I think that's very, very cool. I think it's a really cool... It's a little bit over-designed, right? Like a little bit, but I don't hate it. I have always, since its inception, had a good Terrakion on my team. I think it was the very first one that I properly EV trained myself. And I've had it ever since. I used it to like clear the DLCs in Sword and Shield. I think it's going to be Terrakion, yeah. Just for the familiarity, right? I know that there are a lot of cool rock Pokemon, but I have to go with my Bezzy mate. My Bezzy mate. I'm a big... Oh, shout out to Rhydon. Yeah, Rhydon's cool. I like Rhydon. Ground. Early lead to Nidoking. I'm so predictable, right? These are all first gen that I get to first. Big fan. Huge fan. Ground types. I do like a Swampert. I do. A lot. I know that he's more of a water type, probably, but like, huge fan. Oh, but I really like Flygon. I really like Flygon a lot. I really love the design, and I just wish that he was better. You know, I wish that he was better. Sandaconda, least favourite. I hate this design. I hate it. I really hate it. And also, I hate that it spins like a tornado in its Gigantamax form. Not a fan. I actually loved that there was a Sandcastle Pokemon. I was a huge fan of that. Really, really big fan. I don't think I've actually caught one yet, though. Mudsdale. I actually loved the Mudsdale I had. I forget what generation it was that it came out. I'm assuming Sun and Moon? Yeah, big fan. So I think it's going to be Mudsdale. I loved the one I had. It had that ability that, does it increase its defense as it goes on, or its speed or something? I don't know. I just loved it. I loved it. I've transferred that up as well. And I know that you can catch them in the wild area relatively early on-ish, but I avoided it because I knew that I had one waiting for me to transfer out when I could. I had a Mudsdale and a Lycanroc. Oh, they must have been Sun and Moon, because I had those two together and they were like buddies in my eyes, and they were called Hoof and Woof. Okay, flying type. Flying type. You know, again, like flying is normally something that I really sort of have on the back burner. It's not something that I really put up front. There's not a lot of like pure flying Pokemon that I actually really, really love. It's not a thing for me. They don't rank highly. I do like a Rayquaza though, I've got to say. I've always liked his design. Loved catching him in Ruby and Sapphire. You know what, actually? I love Toucanon. Love the design, love it to pieces. I was a huge fan. That was like the one bird Pokemon of like, you know, there's always a generational bird Pokemon. That was the one that I was like super invested in. I loved it. So actually it's going to be Toucanon. Bugs, again, I don't really vibe with bugs, but for every type that I've said that about so far, I've actually, it appears I found one that I really, really love. Stop. Stop. That's Paris, right? So we need to find whatever language it is that Paris means stop. And what was the other one? there was another Pokemon who didn't. Oh, Abra. Paris, Abra. Anyway. Bugs. I do like Scizor. Fan. Big fan. Can I think of any others that I really loved? I did like Escavalier. I had one of those that I trained myself, was a big fan. I thought that Centiskorch's design was cool this generation, but I don't know that I'm super into it as like one of my favorites, right? Like I don't think it's one of my favorites. I didn't catch any of the Ultra Beasts, so like they're not, I don't have a huge attachment to them. Predictable, but Butterfree, I always think of, you know, having a Butterfree early on in the early games. Do you know what? Actually, I think my favourite bug is Heracross. I really like his really simplistic design. Like, I really like simple Pokemon designs. I know there are a couple probably in here that are over-designed, but I like Heracross a lot. It's a shame it doesn't evolve or evolve from something, because then I think I would like it even more. I don't love solo Pokemon that like don't evolve or anything like, but that's just me. I do really like Heracross. I do. But if it wasn't Heracross, I think it would be Scizor. Okay, Poison. Oh, I know exactly who actually. Toxtricity. Yeah, like I should probably take a look at everything else before really going in on Toxtricity, because I know there are a lot of cool Pokemon out there, but I just take a quick whiz through them now. No, I think it's going to be Toxtricity. I really, really liked the Toxtricity that I had in Sword and Shield. I'm a big fan. Love the design. Love the concept of it being like a musician and like having good sound-based attacks. Love that. So Toxtricity is an easy hands-down winner there. But then I don't feel like there's a lot of competition in Poison-type Pokemon. Okay, Dark. Obvious frontrunner. Umbreon. I've always been a massive fan of Umbreon. If you watched my first lockdown series, you'll know that I made a toy Umbreon, even though I can't sew. I just like downloaded a pattern online for an Umbreon plush and just made it at home, and it was really, really fun using random materials, so it doesn't really look like one. But then again, Mighty Ina, oh, I'm a big fan of Mighty Ina's design as well. I love dog Pokemon. Absol is cool. Honchkrow is cool. And then again, Incineroar is also cool, but I think of him as more of a fire type, right? That feels like cheating. Now, I think it might be Mighty Ina. Or am I just picking Mighty Ina because Umbreon seems too obvious a pick? But then it feels like I'm not being fair to my true feelings, right? Like, I'm gonna have to go Umbreon because I'm a huge Umbreon fan. Always have been since it very first came out. So I think I just have to go with Umbreon. I would be betraying myself to try and come across as less mainstream if I didn't pick Umbreon. I think this is going to be similar with, do you know what? Alolan Marowak is cool as hell. Cool as, let's just say hell. Cool as hell. I'm a big fan of Alolan Marowak, and looking through it now, I don't think any of the other ghost Pokemon are going to come up close. Very close is Chandelure. Love that design. And also Gengar. Yep, I like Aegislash as well. I think Aegislash is a really, really good concept for a Pokemon. And Palisand, like I said before. But do any of them come close? I don't think so. No. Alolan Marowak. Ice. I did love Alolan Ninetales. Like, it's so gorgeous. Love that design. But then I also thought Alolan Sandslash as well with the ice. That was very cool. Cloyster, a classic. Big fan. Loved having a Cloyster. I kind of like Regis, kind of. But then I've never really had them in my team. I really loved Aurorus, actually. Oh, I think it's going to be Aurorus. I really liked that design of it being like a long neck dinosaur. Loved it to pieces. A close second, Alolan Ninetales, for sure. But I think Aurorus is just scratching out, I think. Steel. So we really were close to picking Sizzle before for something, weren't we? And I think Sizzle could come in on here. Although Aggron... do you know, we picked Metagross for something before, didn't we? Metagross should have been in Steel, I think. I think Metagross is my favourite Steel Pokemon. Maybe we can go back to Psychic. Should we do that? Should we be doing that? I hear Metagross, I think Steel before Psychic, I think. But then I don't know who I would pick if I didn't pick Metagross here. I don't really love any Steel type Pokemon apart from... Actually, I'm going to pick Aggron. In that version of Ruby that I had like 200 hours on or something ridiculous, whatever it was, whatever I said. I spent a lot of time training a good Aggron. Catching and training. I remember running back and forth at the entrance of Victory Road because it felt like it was the highest level place where you could really grind to get levels and stuff. Getting lucky eggs to try and speed that process up. Yeah, Aggron then. Let's say Aggron. Honourable mention, Metagross, because it feels like he should have been in that category, but who am I to make that call? Who am I? Okay, Dragon. I've always been a big lover of Dragonite Classic. He's super cute, I think. Again, honourable mention, Flygon. Big fan of Flygon. I've always liked Salamence as well. Not a lot, but just liked. Again, Rayquaza, big fan of that design. Fond memories. Fan of Garchomp's design, but I think it's a bit much. I am a fan of like the simpler designs. Because there's so many legendaries in here, isn't there? I know that the goo is like popular, but I'm not a fan. Regidrago, I actually thought Regidrago's design was very cool, with it being like a dragon's mouth. I thought conceptually that was really, really great. To the point that it might be Regidrago actually, but then it's not a dragon. Do you know what I mean? So it feels like a cheat. It's just the type. Oh, but I do really, really love the fact that it's like, I guess it's like a Charizard's mouth, right? Which is bold, again, considering they didn't make Charizard a dragon type. So is it going to be you or... You know, I've never really had a Dragonite that I loved, you know. I think it might be Regidrago. Oh, I don't know, guys. This is tough. This is really tough. I think Dragonite. It's just cute and cool. I really, really, really... Honourable mention, Regidrago. Really love that design. I think it's so cool conceptually that it's like a hinged dragon head or is its arms. That's very cool. But I feel so attached to Dragonite. And that's probably me just being classic about it, right? But I just love it. Fairy. Oh, it's Ninetales, Fairy, and Ice. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Oh, do you know what? I do like Clefairy and Clefable. Is that just again because I'm feeling attached to like the classic anime and stuff? Also, Rapidash Galar is fairy and psychic. Well, that's good to know because I really thought it should have been fairy. Oh, that makes it, that competes then, to be honest, because I don't have a huge love of fairy types in general, but I did really love that Rapidash. Really loved it. Togekiss as well. Big fan of Togekiss. Oh no, do you know what? It probably has to be Sylveon, right? Surely. I have a really, really good Sylveon that a friend gave to me that's like perfect in EVs and IVs, and it's just always been with me ever since. Yeah, it's got to be Sylveon. So there we have it. There we are. They are my favourites of each type. I think that's a pretty good spread, right? I think that's a pretty good, yeah. I mean, I'll leave a link down in the description down below so that you can do yours and you can, you know, let me know what you think your faves are, where you agree, where you disagree. But I think this is a pretty good spread in my opinion. I mean, I think of all the ones I didn't pick, but if someone just told me these are your Pokemon's real now, go outside, there's Pokemon, these are your Pokemon, I would be like, I would be so chuffed. I think it's a good spread. Okay, bye.